got a guy like Chris Middleton pulling up like that, and he had good looks at him, man. I mean, he obviously, if I'm a guy like him, I'd like to have another shot at it. But those were good looks. You can't complain about those opportunities right there.
He started the game
definitely.
making his first 6 shots, Channing.
You know what? He did, but again, the Houston Rockets system is meant to wear you down. It's meant to put pressure on you defensively. But you know what? Again, he had a chance to win the game. He didn't. They'll move on. I think this is a learning lesson for the Milwaukee Bucks. They're playing for a championship, so they lost this one to Houston. They're going to have to get better and move on.
And we can't take too much from just one game. The Milwaukee Bucks, like we said before, they have the best record in the league. The Houston Rockets, with this small ball lineup, they get dominated inside. But when it came down to the wire, they get the win by 4. I mean, do we look at them as contenders? That's what I want to know about the Houston Rockets. How do you view it? Q Rich, you go first.
I have to. I mean, anytime you have a team with 2 MVPs it's a superstar caliber of Russell Westbrook and James Harden, you just have to think of it, man. Me as a player, I'm always knowing that if those 2 guys can get it rolling, or one of them can get it rolling and just carry it and keep the game close enough for the other one to impact it toward the end, anything is possible for those 2 guys. And then you add the bubble situation. This is like a glorified AAU or scrimmage game, and it's like, without the crowd there, without the different type of pressures, you might see different guys jumping up and playing better than normal because they don't have that pressure from the crowd. So it's just a unique situation, man. I won't be surprised by many scenarios. Like if guys come out and play well, it's not really surprising because this is so unique.
I think for me, they're like a forest fire. It's like unless you take care of them early, they're going to burn your whole forest down. And I think tonight Milwaukee had opportunities to put them away. But again, they kept getting shot after shot. And to them, their attitude isn't about are we down 6 or 9. To them, that's 3 shots. They are the most dangerous team in the bubble because nobody else plays like them. And they are committed to this small ball. They've been practicing this. And then once they are in shape, in their D'Antoni shape, they are going to be the most dangerous team in the bubble, except for Philadelphia.
And 2 MVPs.
Let me say this, though, Chris, about D'Antoni. Like, people, I don't think he gets the credit he deserves. Like, my 1 year with him, the thing that I loved the most was his confidence in us. The way he allows you to play and the way he instills confidence, that's something that is very undervalued in the league. When you have a coach that would allow you to go out there and play carefree and not have to be worried about looking over at the bench, when you can do that as a player, you got to watch out. That's how James Harden has turned into this supernova that we've seen him become over the last 2 years. I mean, obviously, when he first got to Houston, he turned it up. But when D'Antoni got there with this system, it's been nobody can do anything with him since then. And it's a credit. And I mean, you look at a lot of the guys that come into the system, they shoot the best they've ever shot in their career when they play for Coach D'Antoni because he allows you that. You're going to shoot a ton of shots in practice, getting them shots up, getting the feel for the ball, and you're told, shoot the ball. You're not being discouraged to shoot.
And he's got 2 MVPs. We saw one step up when the other one was struggling a bit tonight, Russell Westbrook.
I'm just here in C. Frizzle's world, man, just trying to exist.
All right, so what do you guys think of Milwaukee and Houston so far? I mean, Giannis and the Bucks seem to be imposing their will inside against Houston that's hoisting up threes left and right.
This is not going to be the popular opinion, but I think they're getting off lucky. You let a team shoot 63s like the Houston Rockets, most of the time they're going to make most of those threes. Tonight they're off. Again, the Rockets are just trying to get in shape. They're trying to get their sea legs underneath them. They look a little lax, but the Bucks are taking advantage of this. And the big guy that's doing it is Brook Lopez. The minute that the Rockets go on a run, Brook Lopez slows it down and gets them either a good pass, an assist, or he gets a hook shot or a layup.
Here's kind of Chris Channing. Here's where I kind of can kind of worry about the Bucks, man. Like here you have Giannis going off 34 and 17. The second best player, Middleton, is having a great game. Brook Lopez is having a good game, and it's a 1-point game down the stretch. And we know that James Harden is having a subpar game at best. Russell is playing pretty decent, but we know that both of those guys are liable to go off for 40 or 50 points, and this is a total different game. Wow, the other team's top 3 players are all having good games. So I think this is something you got to kind of look at and you take a pause at. I mean, you obviously want to win the game, but we also know that Harden is capable of jumping up. He's only taking 13 shots. He can take 25, 30 shots and get 50. Same thing for Westbrook. And if either of those two guys really, really get on a roll, it could be hard. And I'm just looking at this bubble setting, man. It's almost really similar to some league in AAU when you're seeing some big guys jump up and score some points.
Yeah, the Bucks were controlling the paint. They were outscoring the Rockets 54-14 there. But as you mentioned, Russell Westbrook, a former MVP himself, got the go-ahead bucket. Now he's leading the Rockets in scoring. How do you look at them as being contenders in the sense that they're giving up all those points inside, but here they are, the team with the best record in the league with a lead over them with a minute to go?
I mean, it has to do with their analytics, and 3 is worth more than 2. So obviously what they're going to give up as layups and hook shots, they're running it back down at the other end. And Russell Westbrook, like you said, a previous MVP, is pretty much playing center next to PJ Tucker. So their advantage is shooting more threes. And based on the Bucks defense, they give up so many uncontested threes. And that's the dangerous part about their defense. Even though they're so tall and talented and lengthy, they give up so many threes. It's kind of mind-boggling. So think about a team like Toronto or Boston, or just a team that's going to be hot on that night. Milwaukee seems very beatable right now, especially with that scheme they have.
So Milwaukee has taken the lead back. Brook Lopez has a double-double, and he's been shooting from outside, but also controlling the paint a bit.
Oh, my, that is
Didn't
tough
touch everything
right
before it went down.
Look,
that is tough.
People forget Brook Lopez was an all-star. He is an absolute monster, and at the end of games, if Giannis doesn't have it going, they force-feed the big fella.
Channing, to your point that you were making before we went back to that highlight cue, Rich, I want you to talk about this. So Channing was saying, oh, yeah, the Bucks give up the most open threes in the league, but their thought process is we got to give it to the right guy, right, or the wrong guy in that sense, the guys with the lowest percentages. And you look tonight, it almost seems like it's working against Houston because they're shooting a low percentage. But again, the Rockets up by 1, Q, Rich.
It's one of those things, man. You got to understand who you're playing against. When you're playing against a D'Antoni coach team, you got to understand they're going to be 3-point heavy. There's going to be a lot of quick shots, and you're going to have a lot of opportunities to capitalize on it. So what Budenholzer has done, he said that we're going to leave their least lethal guys and leave them for threes because it's so much of their team makeup that he knows that they're going to shoot a high volume of threes. And it's pick your poison, man. If you're gonna take away the good shooters and leave the less efficient guys out there, these are the type of nights you're going to come up with.